Hey guys, it's Eeiu, and we're here to break down our 2v4 clutch on Ascent.
Looks like Cloud9 are well on their way to their second, barring something silly taking place, which has kind of been the theme of the series. Austin forced to wait on the other side of this.
This might be insane. He's going to break the door for him.
No shot.
That was beautiful.
That was.
And the high flash, too.
They swing out behind it. They've gotten it down to 2.
Now to get into the retake a little bit, if we look back at the Valor plant, you can see that the KO really isn't here yet. Peter hasn't had enough time to rotate because if you remember this round initially, me and Peter started towards B side, so we have all of our initiator util towards B, and he's going to be in B main for us. Since I'm playing off of him from B main, I have the quicker rotate towards A side, and he's going to be all the way set up inserted inside of the choke, so he's going to have the longest rotate pretty much in the entire map. We have a cat split coming through where our jet dies early and they're coming out the choke in A main, so we end up getting clean on this round. You can see me in this position in heaven. This doesn't actually look like too big of a power position, but this is actually where all of my shock dart lineups are from. One thing I can do as the first rotator, considering that Peter isn't here yet, is I can stall their plant a little bit longer. So if we go to the second sequence, you can see that from this position, I have my shock dart lineups that go all the way back onto Gen, which is pretty much where everybody plants. This is like the most default plant spot in the game that you really can have on A site. And as you can see, all 4 enemy players on Cloud9, they all kind of have to sit around Gen, but they're not doing nothing. These people are holding heaven because they know when I throw 2 shocks onto the plant to stall the plant, if they get caught in any sort of outward position, they could just be a free kill. So these 2 players on the right, the Sova and the Jet, they're both going to be holding heaven together. The Cypher and the KO are kind of like the subject to the shock darts. You know, they're not going to be able to plant the bomb. They're not really going to be able to do too much in this position because of the shock darts stalling them. And if you look all the way on the left, you can see Peter is now rotating in. As Peter is rotating into the tree room here, he starts shooting the door. That's when I pull out of my drone from heaven. It takes a right towards heaven and it flies over Gen here for like a split second. So what ended up happening here, this KO that's in the corner and switch, he got mini-mapped. So this drone, I didn't actually see him on my screen. On the minimap, if you look after the drone faded, you can see like a little question mark or a KO icon. So right after the drone ended, we saw the KO switch on the minimap, and that's sort of what opened up this entire weakness in the play, because initially Peter was just going to break the door. We were going to try to pressure them, considering that their plant is delayed. They had to hold for the heaven flood. They had to hold for everything that could have occurred within that small time frame, and they don't want to give it up. You can see the positions of Sova, Jet, and Cypher. They don't have a good post plant. They don't have anybody that's ready to jump up heaven. They don't have somebody holding contact for heaven from a comfortable position. They just have Jet and Sova trying to double hold, and then Cypher isn't really in too big of a power position. So the most important thing here, this KO getting spotted on the end of the drone on the minimap sort of opened up this entire play. Usually when we're in these scenarios, you know, Boosty, me, Peter, Matt, Sean, we're all going to try to think and bounce ideas off each other of, you know, what we can do. However, when that drone finally sees the KO, now we know. We have a plan set in place. So Peter is going to call me over to the door. He makes the door red. He shoots enough bullets into the door to where when I rotate through glass into garden, I'm only going to have to shoot 1, 2, 3 bullets maybe, and the door will instantly break. That's what's going to end up catching the KO off of surprise the most. I shoot the door here for Peter. Peter right clicks a flash, hard clears close switch, kills him, done. We are now in a 3v2 from a 4v2, and these people that are all in these uncomfortable positions now also have to worry about door. Right here, we reset the scenario. Peter didn't get traded. I didn't get peeked from right side dice. We can sort of eliminate some options now. We kind of know what's happening in the round a little bit. If we came out of switch breaking the door, we killed the KO here, and nobody swung from any of these angles to try to trade the KO. Nobody's sort of in like the right side position of sight, you know, fully inserted, ready to play off of him. So we know the majority of their positioning is going to be sort of around this little area. They might be tucked in hell. They might be left side Gen. They could be right side Gen, like what Cypher and Jet are doing here, but that's going to be pretty much the majority of their positioning. What ends up happening here in sequence 6, Peter calls, I mean, this is a beautiful call from Peter. He calls the KO flash over, and he's going to jump after he KO flashes. Going into this sequence, you can see the flash here. It looks like it's on the ground on the Valor plant, but this flash is super, super high above tree. All of these players here that are now going to be looking at door, because when Zeppa dies, he's going to call both door, because he heard me break it, and then he got instantly flashed after. So he knows they're both there. All these players are going to be looking in this direction. Peter's call to flash high and peak is beautiful, considering that every player has to be taking attention. So the next sequence, you don't see it here, but Peter jumps for me to go wide. Peter jumps with the flash. He kills Rooney on tucked Gen, and these 2 players that were right side Gen, you can see how they got forced back. Door being the main point of attention, Peter having 2 flashes, they don't expect the second flash. They all get blinded, they all get pushed back by this flash. Rooney's in a close position to where the flash only really half blinds him, even if he looks at door. But because Peter jumped, because he went wide, Peter ends up killing this guy even while he's jumping, and that is what facilitated the Rooney kill. Even if Peter did not kill Rooney, because of him jumping, we would get the trade no matter what. However, Peter jumping and getting the kill now leaves us in a 2v2. 2 people are in pretty uncomfortable positions. We're both double swinging out door. You know, we have the talent of 100 Thieves. Peter dies to Oxy. He gets traded after his Rooney kill because he goes wider for me again. I'm going right behind Peter, and Oxy gets traded, and then Moose gets killed. You can see like the little small things that occur in the round. You know, maybe a shock dart won't get too much value, but you can see how it alters the positioning. Maybe the 2 KO flashes won't get value. You can see how both KO flashes end up getting value. The Sova drone, you know, maybe it won't do anything. It just breaks instantly. Spotted the switch guy. Peter called the door break. Everything's just flawless in this round, in this 2v4, to be honest.
Nothing up, just Cypher.
They're up. There's a lot up.
A lot up? Okay.
They're hitting. Out.
Gen, one. And then door.
Four.
Yeah. Four.
Yeah. Tell me when you're gonna break door.
Break door, 3, 2, 1.
Spike planted.
Chill.
I'm with you.
Yeah, wait. My flash high. We go. 3, 2, 1.
Nice jump, Peter.
Island Jen. Good
Island
shot.
Jen, Peter.
One more.
All right, well, I hope this was insightful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in Shanghai.